Good afternoon, everyone. Checking in with you to break down the astrological happenings for the Virgo New Moon, as well as a new moon meditation. So as we journey into an understanding of what's happening with this new moon, know that this Virgo season is a bit of a special one because we have a new moon happening, that happened for us here on the East Coast and the wee hours of the morning. And that's at the 0 degree mark, the start. We also have a new moon happening in Virgo at the 29 degree mark, so the last degree of Virgo. And that one will be a solar eclipse, which is preceding the fall equinox the next day to start Libra season. So some great things to look forward to. And in between those two new moons, we will also have a lunar eclipse full moon that's happening in Pisces. I will be putting out some more information for a full moon workshop for the Pisces full moon. So you can look forward to that here soon. Let's dive into the happenings around the Virgo new moon today. There's a lot of pop astrology that exists out there that will say, hey, this is what this lunation means. And yes, while I think there's some generalizations we can offer, it's really important to look into your chart to figure out what's significant for you. With the new and full moons, if you don't have any points, planets, or placements sitting there or aspecting that degree point in that particular sign, then it may not be super significant for you. But on the contrary, if you do have points, planets, placements at the 0 degree mark of Virgo or the aspecting mutable signs, this could be quite significant. So I really love Astro Matrix as a free app. It's really colorful. You can change it to a whole house system, which is really useful when trying to just digest the information if you're newer to looking at your chart. And I really appreciate a good colorful backdrop. So that's a nice free app to take a look at your chart and understand the aspects too. Well, let's go ahead and dive into the new moon and the details behind it. So Virgo is the archetype of the Virgin. It is innocence, it is purity, it is refinement. She is the editor. And of the mutable signs, Virgo is mutable earth. We have Gemini, that's mutable air, Sagittarius, mutable fire, Pisces, mutable water. Virgo is the least mutable, or what we could interchange with the word flexible, adaptable, of these mutable signs. And that is because it is based in the earth element. So naturally, it's a bit more grounded. So with that being said, this new moon is a space for new intention around refinement, routine, around creating some order and what you find useful. And so let's talk about the fact that Virgo and Gemini are both ruled by the sign of Mercury. There is an aspect that's being made to this new moon that it is what's called squaring Uranus and Gemini. Square is the tensest point in astrology, right? So there's challenges between these two signs. While they're both ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, the messenger, and technology, they utilize this in very different ways. Uranus and Gemini is taking in new information. Gemini is cultivating connection and many different perspectives and just asking all of the questions. With the influence of Uranus, which is actually the higher octave of Mercury. So that's kind of special too. It's calling in sudden change. It's calling in new perspectives. It's kind of like this energy of, well, the genie's out of the bottle. Now you know what you know. And there's no more ignorance is bliss, if you will. And so the challenge to this new moon in Virgo is to understand with the information that's coming in, Virgo needs to discern what's actually useful and how can it use that information in a practical way, and then what needs to be disregarded. So Virgo also is ruled by that planet of information, Mercury. But Virgo's duty and teachings is to take in only relevant information, to turn it into medicine, to turn it into something that it can be used practically to serve you or others. Whereas Gemini just has a fluttering curiosity for all of the things. So with that, know that the planets ruled by Mercury, sometimes there can tend to be a little bit of overwhelm with too much information coming in. There can be a little bit of anxiety that comes with that, right? Or in the octaves of Virgo, self-criticism, ideas of worthiness can come up, right? Am I worthy? Because maybe I didn't do that perfectly. And those are the lower octaves of this sign. They're balanced through the opposite energies of Pisces, mutable water, which asks you to understand that this life, this world, is just so much bigger, right, than just us and maybe something silly that we did in a moment. And it asks for compassion, radical self-acceptance and forgiveness. So in efforts, right, to utilize this Virgo new moon to plant seeds of intention, this is all about tuning in to where you want to create devotion. What are you devoted to, right? It's not acting or doing out of a sense of duty or obligation, but what really do you want to show up for because you genuinely care about it? And where this might fall in your chart might be relevant around the theme. So I'll kind of take you through the houses now, but understand if you have planets or points there, it'll be a little more complex with some different teachers and flavors in the mix. The first house is going to be the house of identity, of understanding of self. The second house is related to resources, finances, time, your values, your foundation. Third house is communication. It's your day-to-day happenings, routines, travel. It's also the house of ritual. So where do you show up in devotion to yourself every day? What's important? And the fourth house is related to private life, family, childhood. Fifth house is the house of pleasure, children, the inner child, joy, hobbies. Sixth house is the house of day-to-day work. It is traditionally ruled by Virgo, right? It's called the domicile ruler. And so it represents wellness, not only to your physical body and health, but to your mental health as well. Seventh house is the house of close relationships, business partnerships, close contracts. Eighth house is the house of shared resources, so others' resources. It's also about intimacy and deep psyche work. Ninth house is the house of expansion, wisdom, higher education, and religion. 10th house is the house of public image. How are you seen in the public eye? 11th house is friendships, creative projects, social media. And finally, the 12th house is what's sitting in the subconscious, past lives, And it's also related to spirituality, but not quite in the same sense the ninth house is, because it's asking you to understand what's sitting in the subconscious, and to cultivate a sense of understanding of what connects you to the divine, and what helps you to process endings and understand that we are not separate. So hopefully that gives you a nice understanding of how these energies are working and maybe what's coming into play for you. We'll settle in for meditation now. So the invitation will be to find a space, a seat, a posture, maybe lying down, a comfortable shape that you can sustain as we go through our meditation practice. We'll begin with calling awareness to the breath and the body, followed by guided imagery to serve through the archetypes of the energies at play this week leading up to the full moon and for the full moon. So as you arrive to your little meditation bed, maybe one hand on your heart or one hand on your belly, just begin to notice your breath. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. One big breath now. Fill through the belly. Expand through your lungs, side to side. Audible exhale. Begin the rotation of consciousness, the crown of your head, back of your head, the top of your neck, the base of your skull, back of your neck, top of your shoulders, backs of your upper arms, elbows, back of the forearms, back of your hands, pad of the big thumb, pointer finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, palm of your hands, wrists, side of the lower arms, side of your elbows, inside of the upper arms, underarms, shoulder blades, mid-back, lower back, glutes, sides of your hips. Soften through your pelvic floor, backs of your thighs, knees, calves, big toe, second toes, third toe, fourth toe, pinky toes, tops of your feet, ankles, shins, kneecaps, tops of your thighs, softening and awareness of your lower belly, large intestine, small intestine, tummy, rib cage, lungs, softening and awareness through your heart center, belly rises with your inhale, falls with your exhale, collarbones, front of your throat, low jaw, tongue drops away from the roof of your mouth, softening through your lips, nostrils, the bridge of your nose, cheekbones, temples, forehead, third eye, awareness to the space between your eyebrows, softening and awareness from the top of your head down the front body to the soles of your feet, softening and awareness from the soles of your feet up your back body to the crown of your head, whole body melts into the hands of gravity. Feel beneath your feet tiny granules of sand. You find yourself at night standing barefoot on the edge of a silver ocean. The softness of the waves. The moon rests above, as if it's an ancient mirror reflecting the unseen parts of you. The tide whispers stories carried in your blood, beliefs shaped by family, echoes of childhood, the hushed voices of ancestors. You begin to make your way towards the water. The coolness of the sea greets your feet, the softness of the wet sand, the gentle breeze blowing upon your cheek as you submerge yourself further and further. The smell of the salt water as you float upon your back. The ocean holds you as a mother holds her child. Here you release. Each exhale becomes a feather, set upon the water. Each thought, each wound, each outdated truth floats away, drawn out by the sea's slow rhythm. The ocean says, all that you release, I transform. All that you surrender, I bless. The moon begins to fade into dawn. From the horizon rises a vibrant sun, rich and luminous and vivid colors, painted across the sky just for you. You begin to make your way from the sea, breathing in each hue of the sunset and brightness of the sun as a beam of courage. Your voice, your laughter, and your creativity are all offerings to the fire rising in the sky. The sun whispers, "Do not hide your brilliance. You are a star, and stars are meant to be seen." As you emerge from the water, you feel the solidarity of the earth collecting beneath your feet. With each step that you take, it becomes more sturdy. Rich, damp, brown soil, full of nutrients. The softness of lush green grass brushing against your ankle. As you make your way down the path, you're surrounded by a canopy of trees. The heart of the earth, holding the ecosystems, the plant life, the animals that scurry across the forest floor. As you make your way through, find yourself coming to the base of a mountain. Rocky and beautiful, you recognize the challenge ahead. As you begin to make your way up the mountain, you see a light glowing at the top. This glowing ember draws you in and gives you the strength and perseverance to reach the top. And once you do, you recognize this glowing ember sits upon an altar, offering healing. It's tender and it's fierce. It burns, but it does not harm. This is the fire of your wound, but also the fire of your becoming. Every scar is a map, and every ache a key. In this moment, you assess and assert your truth. You step forward into self-sovereignty, unafraid. You are not only the wound, you are the one who walks through it, a sword of voice in hand, courage reborn. You begin to make your way down the other side of the mountain, which leads you into a valley. You notice a great waterfall thunders from the sky. The water is liquid starlight, descending into endless streams, each representing its own unique opportunity. As you step beneath it, the water rinses you, cell by cell, memory by memory. Old heaviness slides away like ash. Patterns no longer needed dissolve into mist. Each droplet is precision, each stream a prayer. This is Virgo's gift. Refinement. The alchemy of body and spirit into clarity. Your bones gleam with purity. Your skin hums with light. Your breath feels cleansed, as though every exhale is a hymn, and every inhale a promise. For a moment, simply breathe, rooted, radiant, renewed. Begin now to deepen your breath. Call your awareness back towards your physical body. You might wiggle through the fingers of the toes. Take a big stretch of the arms and your legs. Softly flutter your eyes open. This practice is now